Welcome back, everyone, to the cigar smoke-filled back room. I am Doug with Tusk Consulting, tuskconsulting@gmail.com, tuskconsulting@gmail.com. If you are a pro-gun Republican and you need political consulting help, drop me a line at that email, see what we can do for you. If you are not a pro-gun Republican, I will not be helping you and definitely opposing you in the primary. So, today's video, we typically do a video about things that are not discussed enough in politics, or at least not discussed honestly enough in politics, and this will follow in that vein. But before we get into the main part of the video, the cigar of the day is a Perdomo 20th anniversary Christmas gift. And the bottle of the day is Whistle Pig's Boss Hog. This is their 8th edition. Which is the Pacific edition. It's a straight rye. It's finished in a Philippine rum cask. It has a very bold flavor. For those of you that know rye whiskeys, this is definitely one of the tops of the heap. And you will know that you are having top-notch, grade A rye. Again, these aren't sponsors of the program, but I can live with that. Anyhow, today we're going to be talking about politics as a team sport. Politics is a team sport. It is not an individual sport. Don't get it twisted, okay? Yeah, this is the side that understands and embraces that politics is a team sport is going to do better than the side that ignores it. So, it's New Year's. I think for our New Year's resolution, we should embrace this team sport aspect. So, attacking one's own side is something that we reserve for the primaries. Primaries are where we can air out our differences. Let's talk about it, right? Some people, big gun folk. Some people, not so much. And in a primary, we're going to hash that out. Okay? Some people, the life issue is a big deal. Some people, it's taxes or foreign policy or regulatory reform, whatever it is, whatever their issue is, right? Everybody's got an issue that's more important to them than anything else, and that's cool. But the party is made up of a big conglomeration of a bunch of interests, and we need to make sure that it all meshes together and functions correctly. Naturally, there's going to be some tension, and that's okay. And when we're selecting our nominees for particular offices, there's going to be serious, hard elbows being thrown, and that's okay in the primary. I don't like those anti-gun rhinos, and I'm going to call them out in a primary, and I have, and I'm going to again, okay? It's good and healthy for this to happen to a degree. Additionally, aside from issues-based problems, I think most people would agree with are okay. But this is also in a primary where the dirt digging can occur. And believe it or not, I'm okay with this too. Let me explain why. If we have a candidate that becomes our nominee and the dirt has not been dug up during the primary process, guess what happens? When they get to the general election, the Democrat dirt-digging machine goes turbo and finds all the nasty stuff. And guess what? Now we have a nominee who is unvetted, who is mortally wounded, somebody who implodes. And there's multiple examples of this in very recent memory. Can't have that. If you're going to have the dirt dug up and come out, it has to happen during the primary process. That way it gets aired, the primary voters can consider whether they believe it or not, how impactful it is, whether or not it even matters, and they can make an informed decision. It also insulates the nominee from having to do, because then we get to the general election and the other side says, this has been hashed out, man. This is old news. Why is this guy talking about this old news? Come on, right? So it's actually fine for the dirt digging and mudslinging to occur in the primary because it actually makes for better candidates. But when the primary is over, at least publicly, the attacks need to stop. Okay? Now look, Reagan's 11th commandment, you may have heard of it. Thou shalt not speak ill of other Republicans. I'm not even asking you for that, okay? I'm saying don't do it outside the primary. Okay? Reagan's 11th commandment even applied to the primaries. I'm not asking you to go all that way. I'm just saying that when the primary's over, we unite behind our slate of candidates and advance down the field. That's all I'm asking for. And I don't think that's too much to ask, okay? And look, if your candidate lost in the primary, don't be a juvenile, immature loser that picks up the toys and goes home, okay? That's not helpful, all right? So, let's go to the other side for a second. Notice how well Democrats tend to stick together much more often than Republicans do. That phalanx approach, where they're all locking shields and going the same direction, that lets them punch way above their weight. Way. Even if you believe that roughly half of America is actually on board with the Democrat Party, and I don't believe that. I think they're actually pretty much a fringe movement at this point that just has some people that historically vote for them that haven't yet figured out that they actually have very little in common with them. We'll sail past that for a minute. Even if you think that almost half of America actually identifies with the Democrat Party, they punch way above their weight because they're not cutting each other's throats, okay? They have absolutely embraced this team sport mentality. Now, does it always work great for them? No, okay? But partially that's because they try a bunch of shenanigans on their own. For instance, Kamala Harris. Lots of Democrats didn't like Kamala Harris. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Because when she ran in a primary, she actually did terrible. She didn't even make it to the first primary before she dropped out because she was hemorrhaging so much support. But all of a sudden, Joe Biden's out, they throw Kamala in, and you couldn't hardly find a Democrat willing to say anything bad about her. All of a sudden, she's great, she's wonderful. Even when plenty of evidence is presented to the contrary, nope, she's wonderful, she's great. They wouldn't admit that there was anything wrong with their candidate. Now, of course, her candidacy hadn't had to earn any primary votes, which she was incapable of doing. And so, they did the whole kingmaker behind-the-scenes puppet string thing, and it hurt them, okay? Because they ended up picking a candidate, not letting the voters pick a candidate, and that candidate was flawed, and, so it didn't work out so well, right? So, obviously, things can be taken to a degree where it is absurd. But the Democrats do tend to stick together and not cut each other's throats nearly as much. They still disagree. Oh, they disagree. They have some very sharp disagreements, mostly behind closed doors. And once they come out from behind those closed doors, they present a relatively united front. Here's an idea, guys. Steal their play. All right? It's working. What they're doing is working. I'm not asking you to steal their liberal ideas. Their liberal ideas suck. I'm asking you to take their tactic and utilize it for yourself. We can disagree a lot and have a lot of conversations behind closed doors. But when we emerge with a plan, you have to unite behind that plan or that slate of candidates, whatever, and advance the agenda. That's how you punch above your weight. We're not doing that right now, or historically, recently especially, we have not done that lately. We need to get back to doing that. And look, I get it. Maybe you're a combative sort. I kind of like combative sorts, right? You're like, I got to scrap with somebody. I got to attack somebody, and I feel you. But here's the deal. When you're feeling that way, when you're feeling froggy and you just got to jump, attack a Democrat instead. There's lots of them. I saw this great example is today. This person claimed to be a conservative on social media, railing against an elected Republican official for some perceived slight from years ago. And yes, there's been an intervening election that included a contested primary since then, okay? From years ago, this person was still grinding an axe. Go on their social media profile, scroll down through the posts, look for any complaining at all about Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or Democrat that you get? Nothing for months. They attack Republicans. They don't attack Democrats. If you're just scrappy and you got to fight, metaphorically, rhetorically, attack the Democrats. It's still getting you your cathartic release, man. Just go after the Dems, please, okay? And look, to a degree, this has happened. This has come to be this way because the mainstream media, which people like that will say they don't listen to, but they do. The mainstream media has made it cool and trendy and socially acceptable to attack the right. Not the left. Oh, you don't attack. Oh, the left. Oh, they care. Their heart's in the right place. Even if their policies don't always work out, they mean well. So you can't attack. But, oh, Republicans are nasty and evil and mean. Right? This is the meme, the trope that the mainstream media has raised. Now, of course, the Democrats completely love this, right? They love their allies in the media setting this as the standard because they then attack all Republicans. But then we got Republicans running around who hear this and they say, well, I don't want to attack every Republican because I'm a Republican. But I bet I can find some bad Republicans to attack. You know, the thing is, though, again, outside of the primary, that ain't cool. If you constantly attack and everybody's going after the bad, pretty soon, you know what? It seems like they're all bad Republicans. And there's no good ones left. Because guess what, folks? Everybody's human. Everybody has some flaw somewhere. And if you're looking for a reason to reject, you will find a reason to reject. Okay? Stop this insanity. If you gotta get involved in a dispute on social media, do it with a Democrat, would you please? So in summary, look, we got total victory here just recently. Total victory. Could we have gotten a bigger margin in the House? Oh, yeah. Could we have gotten a bigger margin in the Senate? Maybe. 1 or 2 more seats, sure. Yeah, could have. But, I mean, we won. We won the national popular vote. We won the Electoral College vote, which really matters. We won the Senate. We won the House. We are in a position, unparalleled in recent times, to actually advance a conservative, pro-gun, Republican agenda. If you want that to occur, then you need to stop with the circular firing squad and embrace the team sport mentality of politics. For real, okay? This is important. This is how you get the ball down the field. Again, I am Doug with Tusk Consulting. TuskConsulting@gmail.com. TuskConsulting@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next one.